Hello, I'm Luke Neller and welcome to Best Replays of the Week. In this episode we have a heavy tank who thinks it's a scout, some Armoured Fist action, and a Top Gun who is one lucky devil. Let's take a look. Bull Terrier 73 from the EU region has sent us a scout game featuring the WZ-111 Model 1-4. The Chinese heavy ends up on the defending side of an assault on Karelia. The tank reaches 50 km an hour on the road, and Bull Terrier pushes well ahead of the team. Does this big bruiser really work as a scout? Contact! Make that multiple contacts! The northeastern corner is boiling with enemies. Bull Terrier fires the 130mm cannon as fast as it can cycle, but what really counts is spotting and staying alive. There's a T-95 crawling around in the rear. This scout has the same gun as an IS-7, so Bull Terrier can easily take care of it. Okay, back at the front. An E-75 is a dangerous foe, but with a little help from allies, the scout brings it down as well. The opponents are pretty much beaten, so the scout goes looking for stragglers. The Tiger II is spotted by somebody else, but Bull Terrier helps in taking it down. Here's an appropriate target for a scout. No need to even load HE with this gun. The last opponent is in a Panther. That doesn't sound too scary, but you should never underestimate a Panther. Teammates arrive and turn the last enemy into ketchup. Victory from beyond the grave. It may not have looked like it, but Bull Terrier 73 actually dealt the most damage in the match. More importantly, the heavy scout detected 9 opponents and got 6.7k in spotting damage. Up next, we have Captain Seabass playing as a defender in a KV-1S. The map is Westfield, and the captain is top tier, just like the majority. The Sport KV pushes forward as a one-tank flanking force, and opens fire on a toaster. The first 2 kills happen quickly. The second one finished with an uneyed shot. The toaster TD arrives to take revenge, but it is the one who ends up dead. There are explosions all around, and Captain Seabass can't decide which way to go. Before long, the other team is 5 points ahead. The OI experimental is easy to finish off, but it looks like Seabass missed most of the fight on this flank. But no matter, there are plenty of enemies left, and they are advancing on the base. It's defender time! The scout is the first to go, followed by a T-25. 2 of the foes have made it to the circle. The first reset attempt bounces off, but the gunner does better with the next 2 attempts. The next to appear drives a French art piece shaped like a steel duck. Captain Seabass doesn't care for it and vandalizes it beyond repair. What a tragedy! But there's still a second capper in the circle. The little machine isn't really a threat, and the captain takes it out with ease. All that remain now are a pair of SPGs. A direct hit could finish off the KV at this point. Even a near miss would be dangerous. The RT is well hidden, but Sixth Sense gives a warning when they are near. Captain Seabass gives the command for evasive maneuvers, and the shell goes wide. The grill retreats, and the KV gives chase. The SPG misses its second shot by a meter and doesn't get another chance. The last SPG could be anywhere, so Seabass heads into the capture circle. Your move, the rain. The RT keeps its distance, and its reset attempt actually misses the circle. Victory by capture, for the defender. What can I say? Low-tier games tend to be a little peculiar. In any case, that was 10 kills, a pretty decent base defense, and an opportunity to feature at the AMX-40. And now, something of a rare treat. Blackstorm CHR joins up with 6 clanmates to form Voltron, or an Iron Fist. The map is Winterberg, and both sides are relying primarily on the IS-3. Blackstorm pushes south with the rest of the heavies. A T-37 locates the opposing force, but pays a heavy price for the discovery. The enemies make their move, sending 3 tanks into the capture zone. Clan BCIT has no choice but to try and contest the capture. Blackstorm takes several hits in crossing the open terrain, but scores the first kill for the team as well. There's an IS-3 to the rear, and a Type 64 off to the side. It can't be helped. The capture must be stopped. An ally blows up at the edge of the circle, but Blackstorm manages a partial reset. There's a tense standoff as Blackstorm waits for backup. This has to be resolved quickly. Reinforcements arrive in better repair and lead the way. At last, Blackstorm lands a reset shot on the Jagdpanther, and the Allies secures the kill. No time to mourn, Blackstorm gets revenge without hesitation. The team's remains turn up in the circle, and finally there's an opportunity to pick off the Type 64. The team has a 3v2 advantage, but only for a moment. Blackstorm struggles to find a good angle through the wreckage and ends up facing the last enemy alone. Let's do this! Blackstorm angles the tank to bounce the return shot, but forgets about the pike nose. The hit point advantage means it doesn't really matter, and the next shot wins the game. A quick and intense game. Blackstorm claimed 5 out of the 7 kills, but everyone did their part. Well done, Predators Academy! Now let's switch back to the American region for a Top Gun game from the Nutty Professor. The match is a Tier 7 encounter on Insk, with the Professor driving an M56 Scorpion. This American TD sports all of 1mm of armor, and would probably take damage from a loud fart. Be careful out there, Professor! The Scorpion sets up and waits for customers. Being small and flimsy has its advantages, and the TD remains unspotted even when firing. The Hellcat escapes and the Scorpion gives chase. The Professor pays attention to the minimap and intercepts the target. Allies are taking fire from down the road, so the Top Gun sets up another ambush. The OI trundles in and is taken out. Will there be others? Doesn't look like it, so the Professor pushes through and heads towards the capture zone. The ARL dies while looking the wrong way, and the Nashorn doesn't do much better. Teammates are starting to run out, but who needs allies in a Top Gun game? Another Hellcat, and some curious chat from the enemy team. It could be important later. There goes the last ally. The Professor is alone against 6, but not for long. Does this SPG think it's an action hero? It does drive the Scorpion away, but only to set up this shot. A Firefly dashes past, and the Professor can't quite work out how to dispose of it safely. The Firefly lands a shot, and its 105mm howitzer is really bad news to the flimsy TD. The second shot actually passes through the Scorpion, finding a narrow path between the gun shield and the chassis. The Professor finishes off the astonished Firefly, and the Scorpion's crew would probably appreciate some clean underwear. Unfortunately, there's no time for that, with an enemy in the capture zone. It's Dicker Max! A hasty auto-aim shot goes wide, and the Scorpion charges into close combat. The second shot misses by a mile, but at this point it doesn't matter. As long as more enemies don't show up, the Max is doomed. So where are the last 2 anyway? Okay, what's going on there? Is it some sort of gymnastics display? The Professor takes a closer look, and finds the spectacle of 2 hopelessly stuck tanks. Oh well, 9 legit kills is impressive enough. It's time to put these clowns out of their misery and wrap up the game. Well played, Professor. Armor is clearly overrated. The shell that found a path clean through your vehicle was a bit of a lottery win, but I'm glad we got to see it on the show. We'll wrap up the episode with a crucial contribution, as FunBNIF gives 100% on a European server. The battleground is Fisherman's Bay, and FunBNIF is top tier with a German E50. The battle starts with a push down the western edge of the map, and a good kicking delivered to an STA-1. A Panther 88 attempts a counterattack and ends up as the first kill of the match. A T-32 proves surprisingly difficult to damage as a Tiger 1 charges with suicidal bravery. The T-32 joins in, but its armor seems softer in close combat. Soft as it is, the kill goes to an ally, as does the STA-1. FunBNIF takes out a T-34-100 and softens up a Scorpion G for an ally. All that remain are a pair of light tanks on this flank, but one of them escapes with his life. And now, the way to the capture circle looks clear. The opponents are far from defeated, however. FunBNIF leaves capturing to the others and goes looking for more targets. This looks like trouble. FunBNIF kills an M103 from ambush and punches a few holes into another one. There would be a Tiger 2 here, but the base is getting captured and nobody else is free to defend it. The Kappa is a Borsig in perfect repair. Nif takes it apart with calm professionalism and heads back to join the mop-up operation. The remaining 103s focus on others, thus dies without fighting back. All that remains is the RU-251, which got away last time, and his luck is about to run out. The game is over. We expect a lot from top-tier replays, but what more could we ask? Steel wall, sniper, almost 9k damage, and some base defense action thrown in as a bonus. Excellent work all around. That's it for this season. Keep sending in your replays. We'll be back with new episodes in a few weeks. I'm Luke Neller, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hurrah! Hurrah! See, bus. No, bus. We all live in a yellow bus. And the sachet, chasse. I don't know why this is so hard for me. Boom. Kaboom.